I've been extremely happy with Bleach Soul Resonance, and when you also include how many pulls they're giving out, and now that we have the full info for the event, seemingly it's giving 33 pulls. Well, I mean, in terms of pulls, we're looking really good. And also, I just talked about it. It seems like every single new banner is also going to be bringing that 10 pull login. So because of that, I'm looking to be pretty content with this game moving forward. But there's one thing in specific that I really think needs to be improved, and that is the acquisition of core stamps. So I got it, and you might be asking, how did I get it? Well, I bought it, right? So I bought it. There you go. I mean, kind of as simple as that. Now, there's a really big problem with this, I'm not gonna lie. So let's just look at the web store, and essentially on the web store, you could buy it for 30 SGD, which is Singapore dollar. Now that translates to $23 USD. That is a ridiculous amount for this pack. A ridiculous amount, because it's not really giving that much other rewards or materials, right? So you're basically buying, it's going to cost you $23 every time you want to get this, because if we go into the trial and we go into stamp corridor, there is no way to guarantee Toshiro's core stamp, and also likewise Ichigo's, and likewise future rate up core stamps. Now this does become a problem long term, because now, because of the fact that launch had the most amount of core stamps, I would like to imagine most people were able to guarantee Ichigo's core stamp. However, for Toshiro's and future core stamps, I don't think this is going to be the case. And I think that sucks. This is the thing. I personally do not have a problem with the leveling system, because long term, everyone's not going to be level locked, right? It's a launch problem that seems to be built that way, but I do think this is a long-term problem that will affect every player. So I think this is a more pressing issue to me personally, right? And I want to talk about this. And I'm going to give solutions for how they could make it to where core stamps are easier to get and also make them more money. So we're going to give solutions for free-to-plays to profit, low spenders to profit, low spending being below about $100 a month, and then whales, high spenders to whales, for all three groups of people to profit, okay? Because there is a very easy way, I feel, to make it that everyone is happier, because even whales aren't exactly profiting from the system. Beyond the first core stamp, how could they max this out, right? And considering dupes, look at this, and that is literally every single dupe, if it continues, every single dupe is going to be giving you an extra 24% crit damage per dupe. That is ridiculous, right? So yes, you could technically use the universal dupes. There is for sure that, but I feel like we could all agree being able to get more as a paid spender would be nice. So let's start with free-to-plays. Okay, let's go into the free-to-play way that they should improve this system. And feel free down below to let me know what you think they should also do, right? Besides what I'm saying, let me know on top of what I've said what you think should happen. But keep in mind, core stamps are for sure a big way that they are getting money. So we have to make it that not only are free-to-plays going to profit from this new system, but long-term spenders are also going to be happy and still have that advantage, which they should have. They're spending. They're the ones keeping the game alive, but free-to-plays are equally as important for this game to stay alive. So we got to make both groups happy, because without free-to-plays, promotion is going to tank. There's going to be less people making tweets, less discussion, and pay-to-wins won't have anyone to reign over. The reason why pay-to-wins are also really good to have it for free-to-plays, right? It kind of goes together, right? Pay-to-wins get to rule over someone, right? And that is one of the reasons why you're spending, right? To compete, to do as good as you can, and also to get the units, right? But you also need free-to-plays for that marketing aspect. So for the free-to-play side of things, what they should do is have every 2 weeks a pity selector. So basically, maybe you could choose when you use it. Maybe there'll be a little box right here where you could tick it off. And when you get the rainbow shadow box 4, instead of it just being randomized, once every 2 weeks, you could guarantee it. Now, how they should go about this is basically they would add, I got it. This art is so good. Every time I see it, I'm just in awe. So every time that the rate up ends, then the core stamp is added to the selector. So essentially, as a free-to-play, the only way you would be able to get it for the first 2 weeks is randomized, just if you get lucky. But then, after 2 weeks, the first time you use that pity selector, you are guaranteed to get the core stamp. So essentially for free-to-plays, you would have to wait 2 weeks, but you would guarantee it. So I think already this is an improvement. And this way, you know you're going to get it. Even if it's 2 weeks later, you're going to get it. This way, pay-to-wins don't feel like they're getting fucked over for spending. But free-to-plays are also getting an improvement from this system already, right? Because we still want the game to make money. But now let's get on to that part, okay? It is too expensive. It is genuinely too expensive. This is $30 Canadian, $23 USD. That is a crazy price, okay? I do not think it should be that expensive, especially when the core stamp is so good. 60% crit damage, more basic attack, and then these insane stats, right? Like, it's ridiculous, okay? You want this, especially for the weapon. The only way the weapon stamp is really good is if you have the core stamp, because this weapon stamp gives crit rate, which obviously you want higher crit damage, but if you don't have the core stamp, you're losing out on up to 60% crit damage, which is a problem. So for pay to wins, what I think should happen, lower this. Literally make this the first pack $5. Low spenders will buy this. So you're gonna get more low spenders to buy it. However, remember, you could dupe out these core stamps, okay? And this is where it's gonna come in. Since you could dupe out the core stamps, what they should do is just make a step-up pack where maybe the first pack is $5, second pack is $15, third pack is $30, fourth pack is $50. And as you get the higher packs, what they could also add is maybe some more jades, or also, very simply, just give more corridor keys. So then the spenders are also going to get more corridor keys, and they could get more of the other stamps, right? Maybe they want more economy stamps, etc. So this way, number one, free-to-plays have the selector, okay? That's the first thing. Free-to-plays have a selector. Yes, it's delayed, but it's guaranteed. Your unit is still going to be fine even without the core stamp right away. But long term, it's going to suck if you can't get it, of course. But for the first 2 weeks, it's fine. You get the unit, you get their weapon, and then afterwards you have the core stamp to expect in 2 weeks, right away, right? And then afterwards, low spenders, it's going to be much more doable. You're able to spend and get it right away. This way, the game's still going to make money from low spenders from this. And if anything, because you lower the price, more people will get it. It's just basic economics, okay? It's as simple as that. Low spenders now will now be more incentivized to get it, because for both units, you could guarantee the 2 core stamps now for $10 instead of $60. Okay, bada bing, bada boom. There you go. And then whales who want to max dupe it can now max dupe it right away. And they're going to get way more money also from the whales, right? So in my opinion, what I'm offering in this video kind of makes it that free-to-plays win, people spending lower amounts of money win, and also whales win. Everyone wins in this scenario. And I really think they need to fix this, because especially looking at this core stamp, this one is amazing. Not having it is actually going to suck. It is. Especially as you get dupes, right? Like, okay, let's say you get lucky. I saw someone get like A2 Toshiro and like 90 pulls. And then that means, oh, we got this crit rate, which that extra crit rate is obviously going to profit off of the stamp, right? All these things kind of mesh together to where it's like, you're going to want to get that core stamp, but it's going to turn people off of spending like in total when it's $30. So I think this way, honestly, what I offered, what I would suggested is probably going to make them more money, but also make people happier, right? I really think it's so easy. Just sell more of these, right? Sell the first ones cheaper, but sell more of them. Your whales are happy, low spenders are happy, free-to-plays are happy because they'll still get the stamp even if it's 2 weeks later. We have to understand free-to-plays can't expect to get the same thing as pay-to-wins, but you should definitely make it that they're still happy and that you can still guarantee this, because not being able to guarantee it, like, okay, sure, there is technically the shards, which, you know, it's a lot easier to get them. But how long after are you going to actually get it, right? Just from like the first 2 weeks, let's just check this out. It's like the first 2 weeks and we got more corridor keys than we would in the future. But like the highest I have is like 42, 47. And this pool over time is going to be diluted. So if they're not going to give it in the event, because keep in mind, this wasn't the event originally, okay? If they're not going to give it in the event, they have to introduce a pity selector every 2 weeks that updates 2 week like rate when the rate up ends. I think they need to do that. This way, people spend, but also people could get it free if they want. Everyone's happy, and then this will encourage people to spend more. This game has already really good packs, very low spender friendly packs with this. $10 and you get like a multi and a half, right? Very good with this pity system, okay? But that core stamp is a big issue and the only issue. You could easily make it more like spender friendly and free to play friendly and still make money from this system. So please, Nuverse, please fix this system. I think you could easily make this way better. I think personally, I'm fine waiting until maybe Aizen, right? I think by Aizen or the banner after, like sometime in January, that's like the deadline for this to be fixed. Afterwards, I think it is going to become a massive issue. Right now, I know there's a lot that they have to do. I'm sure they put a lot of time in fixing cutscenes and all that. Because keep in mind, people are like, oh, but they had a Toshiro update. How could they? Shouldn't they be fixing cutscenes? This update, like all this content has been like ready pretty much since like March, okay? Like they've had all of this since July, like the event, right? This event has been in the beta in July. So this was already done. Like they didn't have to work for this. They're for sure putting a lot of time into fixing cutscenes and all that. That's fine. The game gacha is really good. We're getting a bunch of pulls, but like we need to be able to get this without having to spend $30 every 2 weeks. Okay. I think it's a bit of a steep purchase. And it's going to turn people off of spending. It is. $30 is a lot just for a core stamp, right? And it's like you have to give other ways to guarantee it or get it for cheaper. That's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. What else would you do with the system? I think honestly, this is a really good update, right? It is. It just objectively is, right? There's so much rewards that we're getting. They don't even show the full amount. Like there's another 4 tickets from this. And then obviously we also have the permanent event for another 6 tickets here. So it's like, that's all really good. But we need some type of selector pity or some type of way to guarantee it within like the first 2-3 weeks of the rate ups release. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching this video. Love y'all. Bye-bye.